You are tuned in to Capital Jazz TV. We are on the SuperCruise IX. One of our favorite underground lounge artists, Miss Rhonda Thomas, is here joining me. How are you, Rhonda?
Fabulous now that I'm sitting with you.
Hush now, girl. I keep saying it. But anyway, how's your experience been on the SuperCruise? This is your first one, right?
This is my very first one, hopefully not my last, and it's just electrifying. The vibe of the people, the energy, everyone is so genuine. They greet you in the morning, they greet you in the afternoon, they greet you in the evening. They make me feel like a celebrity.
Yeah.
And you know when you're back home in your own life and you have that tunnel vision because you're just working. I hope they can take this with them back to their respective places and just make this infectious because there's nothing but love on this cruise.
Karen Bernard said, I wish the ship reflected the world. Like she was just like, I wish these people on this ship was like how the world is.
That's right.
Because it's just so, I don't know, it's like music lovers and just the energy here on the ship. She was just explaining about. Sounds like the same.
And no one's pretentious. It's very genuine. So I'm excited to be here. It's an honor.
Who are some of the artists that you've seen or want to see on this cruise?
I want to see Raul Midan tonight. I met him in the piano bar with Frank McComb the other night. I sat in on his jam session, and he was just so welcoming and open. I can't wait to see him perform. I love his voice. I got to hear Gretchen Parlato last night. She's just like a bell. Her voice is just so, what's the word? Just innocent. And her voice paired with the upright bass and her husband playing drums behind her. It's heavenly to be able to go hear Joe and then see Rochelle Farrell give a workshop.
Right. Did you attend that workshop?
I did. Right?
Amazing.
So I'm getting all these great nuggets, and I get to perform and have people hear me who I've never even met before.
Yeah.
We were in Martinique yesterday. I'm going to say that again. We were in Martinique yesterday. That's how dope this cruise is. And we just happened to walk out, and a gentleman came up to me who was a DJ from Germany. And he said, I have all your music. I just want to stop and take a picture with you. And I saw you in the underground lounge last night. And this is my wife. And she's originally from Ghana. And the woman is going to make me a dress and some shoes. She took my address and wants to mail me an African dress. This is what I'm talking about. People just giving from the heart selfishly.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So let's talk about Rhonda Thomas. Not only did you just recently perform, but you've been performing all around the East Coast. Are you still on this tour? Are you still touring in other cities?
I'm definitely touring other cities, in Durham, in Maryland sometimes, in Atlanta, in New York. You actually hosted my show at the Apollo
Cafe
I did.
Yes, I did.
In February, so that was dope. We have history. Jodine and I go way back.
Right.
She's like a celebrity in her own right. She
wears
so many hats.
Stop it. No, not at all. Not like you, because if I could scat like this one right here, it's so funny. I was talking to a lady at Joey Somerville's show, and she said to me, and this is a question for you too, because this is about technique. She said to me, how does she do that? How does she do that with her voice? How's that scat? That was amazing. I'd never heard that before. I mean, but scatting's been going on for years. Like,
it
this
really
is
has.
part of, you know, but you do something with it. What is that technique? What do you call it? Is it scatting? How do you do it?
I actually do call it scatting. I danced when I was young at Dance Theater of Harlem's Children's Company and Alvin Ailey's Children's Company. And I say that because it's all intertwined. It's rhythmic. I hear percussive elements when I'm walking through this ship. I'm hearing percussive elements. And when I perform with the band, I am also an instrument. So I'm listening to the beats and the rhythms. And the instrument is the first voice. And so, yes, scatting is a technique, but I also have, like I said, these percussive elements. So I'll hear something and I'm like, and but then I'll hear it rhythmically and I'll make it more percussive like a drum. And so I like to intertwine all of it. And maybe it seems easy, but it just comes to me because I'm feeling it.
I love it. I love
Thank
it.
you.
No, but I mean, you could tell people are captivated by it. It's something refreshing, if you will, that people just are just so open to experience when you perform. So
Thank
you
you.
for your talent on that. So I want to talk about the album Vinyl
Sure.
Days. Tell me a little bit about it. It's out now. People can pick it up where?
Okay. Oh, they can pick it up Amazon, CD Baby, iTunes. If you're here on this ship, you can purchase it in the gift shop. You can purchase it from my website, www.rhondasings.com.
Perfect. And who are some of the producers that you've worked with? And who are some of the producers? Because I know some back. Right.
The Edgewood Agents, they are at a studio called 800 East in Atlanta, and they're comprised of Daz IQ from Bugs in the Attic, Darren Benjamin, Kyrie Cabral Simmons. He plays bass. He used to play with India Irie, and Julius Speed, who plays keys, and he played with the Ananda Project. So Kyrie came to me and he said, Rhonda, we would love to produce a CD for you. And we think the 80s vibe would just be perfect for you. So it was so cool because we would be in the studio just reminiscing and thinking about songs from the 80s time period of, I'm trying to think of folk. Quincy Jones, Michael Jackson, Patty Austin. If you really care about anyone else, I know you wouldn't hurt me. All of those elements. And these three guys are just perfect to execute that. And they were like, Rhonda, you have that Phyllis Hyman kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So all that live instrumentation and the musicians that we had on the project, the other producers like Kipper Jones, who wrote for Vanessa Williams and a host of other people. Trying to think of some other people. Tasha LaRae, she sings with Arrested Development. I know I'm missing people, but you know, I'm in the interview.
Right. But it's what I love about it. It's an Atlanta community that just came together and just delivered this amazing project that you got a chance to perform.
And when you say that, our studio's Edgewood Agent Studio's right next to Avery Sunshine Studio. So she came in and Dana came in and sang on the project. Ron Smith actually sang a little bit. Can you believe it or not?
Ron Smith from Atlanta.
Ron Smith, Harmony and Life. He did a little chant on this song, Speak Life.
Okay.
So
Okay. I'll have to pick on him for that one.
you have to. Got to get him.
I love that. So one of the things that's unique about you, Rhonda, just for people who don't know your background, is that you've sang background for quite a number of legends, including, Mr. Rest in Peace, Isaac Hayes.
Yes.
What are some of the things that you learned working with these artists and studying, if you will, behind them?
It's so interesting what goes on, like you said, behind them, even behind the scenes of just being out on the road and the mishappenings and misgivings, maybe lighting or sound. I watched how he conducted himself in those situations, and he didn't let it faze him. He wasn't cursing anybody out. He wasn't giving bad juju or anything. He was really just professional and very respectful to the musicians, very humble. I'd like to think I'm humble. I don't think I freak out and I become a diva. Sometimes you have to have some of that in you. I wish I had some of that, but I just like that he's an easygoing person, kind of like an Eric Roberson, just a nice guy. Maybe you have people around you that could be the tough people, your henchmen, but I learned professionalism, and he was one that really took care of his body, and he just ate well, and just from a spiritual standpoint, reading materials about the world and embracing everyone, just a good natured person, and I'd like to pick that up from him. I'd like to think I picked that up from him, and I miss him. I was with him 11 years.
Wow, 11 years. Wow. And so now you're doing your own album, you're doing your own work. What do you enjoy more? Is it more the performing element of it? Is it more the songwriting? Because I know you're very serious when it comes to your songwriting and sharing your personal stories on your album.
Definitely.
What do you find more?
I love being able to write music that I can sing because it comes from my heart, and I can convey it well because I've written it. They're my experiences.
Right.
I always talk about it's better to write the song than to key somebody's car or to jack somebody up, right,
Yes,
Jody?
ma'am.
Right.
Right.
So you write that song, you get everything out, your emotions, and then you put it on vinyl or wax or a CD, and you sell it, and you hope that it can move someone. You hope that it can inspire someone. And then for me, all day long, performance, number one. I love to perform. I love live musicianship, which is what Vinyl Days is all about, all that live instrumentation. I love the interplay between the vocalist and the musicians on the stage. I love the reaction from the audience because it is an experience.
Right.
We're in this together. I'm not just singing to someone. We're having an experience. So I love performing. I love it all.
So people, you've got to experience Miss Rhonda Thomas when she comes to your city. How do people keep in contact or stay in touch and know where you're going next?
Please go to my website, rhondasings.com. I'll be performing alongside Angie Stone in Atlanta on November 7th. That's a Harmony and Life production. I'll be at the BU Cafe in Durham December 5th.
Perfect.
And that's my Christmas CD. I want to shout out this shirt because you didn't mention this shirt, but I know you saw it. It says "Little Girls with Big Dreams Go Platinum." And this is a shirt by Coleman G. Howard. He has a fabulous line of shirts and
it's
quotes.
So positive. They're like really positive and reinforcement,
Yes.
empowering quoted shirts.
And we have one for you.
Oh,
So you
really?
get one of these, and they come in an array of colors. So we'll make sure that you get one.
Yes.
Yes. And so I'm partnering with Coleman, myself and Eric Roberson. His shirts say "Little Boys with Big Dreams Go Platinum." And so I wanted to shout out Coleman because this is what we need.
Yeah.
And this is part of my next project, just partnering with them and just trying to do bigger and better things and make life glorious.
And that's, I want to end it right there, just glorious. Because Rhonda, you are glorious.
Thank you,
you
Jody.
really, really are. I mean, the years that you've put, the sweat, blood, and tears that you put into your music, no one
Thank
could
you,
say
sis.
anything different. You know, I admire you from afar. So.
And I appreciate you because you've been in my corner and on my back and next to me from the beginning, since album number 1. This is album number 5.
Right.
So thank you.
So that's 5 albums that you guys
That's
need to pick
right.
up, including her Christmas album, which I still play in rotation to this day.
Oh, and actually, the show that I just did here on the ship in the Underground Lounge, Eric Roberson and I have a duet on that Christmas album. It's called Little Drummer Girl, and that song is Mistletoe, and Eric and I are singing on that. Song was written by Al Ross and Mark Nelson.
Perfect, perfect. Well, Rhonda, thank you so much for joining us here on Capital Jazz TV. Thank you so much for being on the cruise as well.
Thank you, sis.
I cannot. Hopefully we can get Rhonda back. We're going to keep our fingers
That
crossed.
would be awesome. Thank you to all the Capital Jazz sponsors and people that have put this together and afforded me this opportunity. Much
Perfect.
love.
Perfect, perfect. This is Jodine and Rhonda Thomas sitting here on Capital Jazz TV.